this is Canals of Windcrest, the next game after Mistwind. It's set in the Mistwind world. It's a heavier game than Mistwind. So how it works is there's these location cards. They correspond to a spot on the map. At the beginning of each round, we're going to draft these cards, and you'll end up with 5 of them. Once you've drafted the 5, we're going to take turns playing one at a time. So on my turn, I can play a card. I would get whatever it says. So some of them have resources, and some of them have abilities that you can spend to get certain rewards. So that would be the first thing you do on your turn is play a card. The second thing you'll do on your turn is a secondary action shown down here. Similar to Scythe, if I do one action, I cannot do the same action next round. So out of the 4 actions, the first one here on the left is manufacturing. So there's a little chart on the bottom that shows a conversion of resource to export goods. All these markers will start at the bottom, and as you upgrade them, they get better and better, because as you upgrade, you'll get everything from where it is and below. So you start at the bottom with 1 manufacturing, and then as you upgrade, you'll get up to 4. Those export goods that you make, they look like this. You'll place them into your warehouse, and then you'll need to move your whale around to deliver them to any of these spots that are on the edge of the board. So this one says I want to deliver a barrel and a pigment. So if I have a barrel and pigment already made, then I would complete this, take it off the board, and then place them into my ledger here. If it covers a printed reward, you get that immediately. So I would place my barrel here and my pigment here and gain those rewards right away. As you play out the game, at the end of the game, you'll get points for the exports. Each of them has a base value. So the cans are worth 2 points base because they're a little cheaper to make, and the medicine is more points because they're a little harder to make. There's also ways in the game that you can increase the value of these goods that you export. So if you're doing, a lot of these ones, then you might want to get an extra cube here to increase the value of that at the end of the game.
Okay.
Yes. The second thing you can do is move your foreman around. So all players have 6 of these. At the beginning of the game, they're all locked, and then you can spend actions to put them out by going to this action here. They'll go out onto the board basically to gain you resources, anything that's on the board here. They can also move across bridges to get you other stuff. And so they're just running around helping you collect resources that you need to, make more export goods or build stuff later. The next action you can do is whale movement. So whales are super important in this game. They have 3 different uses. So the first use of the whale is this rondelle here. If I'm purple player, I want to look at what's coming up next, and I want to end my turn with the whale on whatever is next. So if I'm here, I want to look for the symbol on the map and make sure I end my turn on that spot. If I do, then this will move and I'll get whatever reward is printed here. If I have currently 2 purple whales on the board, then I can do both of them. If I have one on this and one on green, then I can move twice and get all the rewards. So that's the first use of the whales. The second use of the whales, like I've mentioned earlier, is exporting the goods. If you can align it efficiently enough that you can get this and export in the same turn, you're maximizing efficiency. The third thing you can do with a whale is pick up a passenger. Every time you build a bridge, you will automatically draw a passenger out of the bag. It'll be one of the colors of these citizens. To pick them up, all you need to do is pass by. They'll automatically board your whale, and then you need to take them to the spot that corresponds with its color. When you do, here, they'll get dropped off. And so that's the third use of your whale, is dropping them off. So if you can align the rondelle movement, the passenger drop off, and exporting, then you've maximized your whale's efficiency. The passengers will get placed on these spots, and these are how you get multipliers for your export goods. So if I do a lot of medicine, I can place it here and put a marker down on my medicine and increase the value. The last thing you can do is build. So you can build whales, you can build bridges, and you can build buildings. So how this works is buildings, there's a little spot on the map for each location. You'll place the building tile down and mark it with your control marker to show it's yours. The other thing you'll do is place
I'm pretty sure it's
a clear card that has the same symbols into the location, and it upgrades the card. So now, when you use the card on a later turn, you'll get the base plus whatever this is. And because at the beginning of every round we're drafting the cards, you might not get this card, someone else might get this card. But whoever owns the building is going to get this red reward here.
How much are they?
So what you're looking at right now.
There's two different types of buildings. There's abilities, and then there's point scoring ones. So you can choose, and the different resource costs are printed on the bottom of your player board there. Yeah, so there's a lot going on, but
looks like there's a lot of
so the majority of your points is going to come from exporting. So if you can see here, the more exports you have, the more points, because they are worth points on their own. And also, if you finish a column, it's worth extra points. And of course, like I mentioned earlier, you can add cubes to increase the value.
And when will this be available?
This is going to go on Kickstarter probably in a couple months, about maybe September, October. We haven't set a date fully yet, but hoping before the end of the year for sure.